So MRSSSTIX and I haven't really played any of Warframe. It's not a game that necessarily appeals to us, but at the same time, we just got done streaming and it was brought to our attention that during TennoCon 2022, a convention that is specifically dedicated to the Warframe intellectual property, the developers announced a brand new MMO titled Soulframe. Now, we took a look at their trailer for Soulframe, which I'm surprised they actually revealed. I think this is actually probably the first time we've ever had MRSSSTIX and I react to a trailer together, but there's also been a little bit of information revealed concerning the game as well. So let's go ahead, take a look at the trailer together, and then we'll go ahead and read this article that was posted on Video Game Chronicle, or maybe it was on IGN. Yeah, IGN, I think. Quick shout out to our patrons over on Patreon. This allows you to directly support us if you're interested. Every patron will have their name appear at the beginning of every single YouTube video, and you'll be immortalized in the MMO genre forever.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, and just so you know, chat, you know, neither of us has really played any Warframe, so all the references that are made are probably completely lost on us.
Pitched sweet and solemn. They that heard came hollow, fallen. The children raised in castles loved, made hunters grave, of others not.
This is some kinky shit.
Oh!
Remember this. We are a family.
We are family.
Yet beyond the pale of Odin's sky live verdant fields of rain and wild, where omen beasts of Alka's lost. Remember
Family.
still until the ghost.
So did we die?
Looks so cool. It's like a war moose.
A woos.
A woos.
Oh, that is gonna hurt.
Oh. Oh, but it's on his mechanical arm, so that's fine. That's fine.
That is a whole lot of butt. Are we even gonna be able to upload a video with that much ass to YouTube?
Maybe we could like blur it out. Blurry butt. Very, yes, it's very cool.
Envoys of shame.
Okay, good, it's a back, not a
Bear
butt.
their souls within your frame. Find your spirit, your grace renewed, and return to earth. Her power true.
Whoa.
Is that bird our companion now? Because I mean, I'm down. Wait, is this another person? No, why is their skin blue?
That's the arm, the mechanical arm, I assume, that has been upgraded. Whoa.
Sick.
Y'all in trouble now. Remember, we're family! Woo!
Dude. Our bird hits hard.
Shit. Good doggy. Oh, maybe it's not a dog. It's a cat, I think. Cat dog? It's a dog. Fox?
It's a
Okay.
fox. Wow.
Okay,
I like how
but
we're just kinda
pet
like-
it. Careful, he might eat your face.
Don't eat my bird.
This is my guard bird.
Won't you?
Ooh. That was pretty sick. It still looked like ass in terms of like quality, but damn, that looked so good. Oh, there's more.
That is cool. That was really cool. So the article on IGN reads, Soulframe is the next game from Warframe's Digital Extremes, and it's inspired by Princess Mononoke. That makes a whole lot of sense now. Soulframe is the next game from Warframe developers Digital Extremes, and its new project that is inspired by Studio Ghibli's Princess Mononoke looks to be the mirror universe version of Warframe set in a fantasy world. As reported by the Washington Post, Soulframe was announced during TennoCon 2022 and is being led by Steve Sinclair, the director of Warframe, who is stepping down from his current role to help bring this new adventure to life. Soulframe is a free-to-play open-world adventure that is heavily influenced by themes of nature, restoration, and exploration, alongside such works as Princess Mononoke and The Neverending Story. Man, I have not heard the name of that movie or trilogy of movies in a really long time. These inspirations will help the team build a world that is the collision between industry and nature. In service of that, the world will show its displeasure toward players who occupy it. The conceit in Soulframe is that the world itself is a little angry about what's been done to it, and the grounds underneath tend to shift throughout the day, said creative director Jeff Crooks. So there's going to be proceduralism within the cave networks and crevices and so on underneath the world. The game is still very early in development, but Sinclair notes that it will share Warframe's focus on cooperative player versus environment combat and procedurally generated environments. Furthermore, Soulframe will be a suitably strange take on fantasy and will differ from Warframe's flesh mech powered spin on the sci-fi genre. And right there, they do go on to note that they are going to have a focus on cooperative PvE combat and procedurally generated environments. They do not note here that it is an MMO, but we have been told by quite a few people that it is in fact one. So that is, I guess, what I'm going with here until we are told otherwise. The differences don't just end there either. Where Warframe is focused on shooting, this one's focused on melee, Sinclair said. Where Warframe is super fast and crazy high speed, this one's going to be a lot more slow and heavy, but it still has a lot of similarities to the genre that we have experienced. And that makes sense because I couldn't imagine an MMO with the speed, the fluidity of Warframe. That I feel like that would just, like, Black Desert is already fast enough. I can't imagine something that makes Black Desert kind of look tame in comparison. Soulframe looks to have a very open hub world, which will be similar to Warframe's newer open world planets, but it will have a greater focus on exploration than its predecessor. The team also wants to make it feel more alive to players on a moment-to-moment basis, which I'm guessing is where that procedurally generated aspect comes from. Given the game is called Soulframe, it may seem as though Digital Extremes is also taking inspiration from Software's Dark Souls or Elden Ring. I've seen people online since having been brought to my attention that they are taking inspiration from Elden Ring. I don't know if that's confirmed or not yet. However, that wasn't the plan they originally laid out. I think it certainly isn't an inspiration for the initial ideas or what we wanted to do, Sinclair said. Ironically, other titles that were maybe borrowing from Warframe might have been some sort of reverse influence, but Elden Ring has absolutely been a subject of some conversation. Maybe to do with the camera, maybe to do with how excellent their combat pacing is, and you know, screw those guys, because damn, Elden Ring was absolutely fantastic. The basic concepts for Soulframe began floating around the studio in 2019, and a very small team comprised of mainly artists had been the only ones working on it up until this February. This is a very recently worked on game. So why did Digital Extremes decide to announce the game now? Our work has been extremely community driven, Sinclair said. It feels disingenuous not to tell players about changes in who's leading Warframe. It's way too early to announce Soulframe actually, but in terms of transparency and making sure they understand how we think, we tend to be a lot more open than most studios. And we appreciate that, we genuinely do. Sinclair and Crooks also say they don't plan to go silent for years as some games, and so you mean, you know, like Bandai Namco with Blue Protocol as an example? For years, as some games announced too early tend to do. Instead, they plan on giving fans a look behind the curtain as soon as possible. And that cinematic trailer that we got was actually beautiful. Furthermore, Digital Extremes diehards will get to play a version of Soulframe within a year. So they're gonna have a fully functional version of the game playable by the middle of 2020. That is insane. That is really close to releasing a playable form of this game. I don't know if it's gonna be like an alpha test then, or if it's gonna be a beta test, but at least some version of the game is launching in 2023. So this is not gonna be a game we have to wait a decade for. The thing we wanna try is to do similar to Warframe, which is, hey, watch us make the game and get your hands on the rough bits and tell us how you feel, Sinclair said. Now, they do have an official website for Soulframe up, but there's really nothing more than what was revealed here available concerning the game. Now, it has been announced to be an MMO, it's been announced to be an open world game, it has been announced to have a slower form of action combat. It's going to have a large focus on PvE. They didn't mention anything about PvP currently. We don't know exactly what platforms it's going to release on. We know that there's going to be a playable version of the game sometime in 2023, which is exciting. And that's pretty much it right now. I am very excited for this game. I'm very excited for Riot's League of Legends MMO. Man, with all the incredible Asian gacha games that are coming out recently, and all these really large studios that are announcing MMOs, we have a lot of really incredible looking games to look forward to over the next decade, if we all survive that long. Now, for those of you interested in MMOs that are confirmed to be coming this year as opposed to having to wait until next year or the year after, I got a video for that up on screen right now. Or if you're interested in gacha games, I got a video for that on screen as well.